Hello, welcome. I'm so glad that that I can spend this time with you. Let me know where. Comment below, send those comments in, and let's start the party. Yes, I'm speaking English, and yes, we are diving into this topic today. And I think it's such an important topic because we all have beliefs, right? And sometimes we don't know actually limiting, closing off, stealing from our lives. Media, and I've seen so many things out. When someone does something bad to you, you say, oh my goodness, this is not a good person. I don't want them in my life. Allow the wrong beliefs and thoughts to sit in our heads and bully us and torment us, onto us. And it really stops us from living the wonderful and beautiful life that we can live. And tonight, we are making sure that that doesn't happen anymore. So where are you watching from? Say hello, comment, and I already see an Eileen. Hello, Eileen. You are watching on Facebook, and you from Bloom. Hello and welcome. So wherever you're watching from, put that comment in there, and let's get the ball rolling. Feel free to comment, chat along, and then of course we will also have a Q&A toward the end. Okay, so let's dive in, and I'm going to introduce myself. If you can just pop on that slide for me, I'm going to introduce myself and tell you a little bit more about me and why I'm here to share this with you tonight. Okay, so I'm Lucia Dramat, and I am a life coach, motivational speaker, as well as a TV and radio host. Now, for the past 10 years, I have been facilitating groups, working with groups of people, whether it's entrepreneurs, whether it was in small groups, and I've been training and facilitating people all over. My heart has always been to motivate and to encourage people, and I'm so committed to doing that for people. So it took me down the road. I initially started my studies in public relations, and after I completed that, later on I did a study in ministry, and from ministry I went on to studying life coaching as well. All of this me and giving me better tools to be able to serve people for the past 4-5 workshops to equip people specifically with a confident purpose. And so I'm so excited to be here tonight and to talk to you about this topic, because I think it is so important that we run so much of our lives, but because it is invisible, sometimes we just miss it, and it runs our lives. So tonight I'm going to make sure that we are no longer missing these little things. Now, it is so important that we know what we want out of today. So, just for some intentions for today, what you can is going to be for you, especially since you're watching Lauren, Ansi, Eileen, watching. I will be giving special attention to really figuring out what's going on behind the scenes. And we can go back to the camera, figuring out what's going on behind the scenes. What is going on behind the autopilot, behind the busy life, behind all those things that we do every single day that we do. Then I'm going to show you how we can start identifying those beliefs, because sometimes we don't know that we have beliefs that are limiting. We are so busy with, do this, do that. We've got the kids, we've got work, we've got all this many things that we're doing. And we don't even know we have beliefs that are keeping our lives small, keeping us frustrated, keeping us unhappy. And for some other reason, we end up in the same pattern with different people over and over. You have a friend 10 years ago, and it feels like you just had that friend because they were no good. And 20 years ago, you also had no good friend. So what's going on? Why different situations like that? They keep happening over and over. We don't know why. Today, I'm going to show you how to identify those stories we're telling ourselves and those beliefs that are just no good, right? Then after that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to change those. And that is the big one. Now, the important thing is, and so many people ask me, Lucia, how am I going to change this belief? How am I going to get rid of this belief? The important thing to know is that it has taken you a certain amount of years and time to adopt that belief. If you've been thinking that way for the past 5 years, 10 years, or whatever, since you were a child, you've been thinking that way. And so now sometimes we want it to magically change in one little 30-minute session on a Monday night, or we want it to magically change in just this moment, but it actually takes time. And that's okay. It's okay if it takes time, but at least if you understand the process, then it's not this painful thing that you don't know what to expect. You know what to expect. So if you're ready, tell me you're ready in the comments. Let's get going. And wherever you're watching from, remember to let me know. And I would love to give those shout outs to all of you. At the end of the session, it's only 30 minutes long, and we're already about 7 minutes in. At the end of this session, I will be giving you an opportunity for questions and answers. So if you do have a question for the Q&A, keep it till the end, and I'm going to try and pick out a few questions and make sure that I answer them for you. Okay, so let's dive straight in. Let's dive into those slides over there. I'm going to take you straight to slide 4. Now, here, walk you through the problem. I'm going to walk you through where I'm going to walk you through the solution. And this is extremely powerful. But before I take you right into that, I want to tell you a little story. With this story, I think it's important to know and to identify how the belief in this story. A few years ago, my husband and I started a business. And we were so excited about the business. And still till today, I think, my goodness, it was a good idea, but it just did not work out. And after 2 years of really putting it in, and we enjoyed the business, we poured into the business, it did not work out the way we intended. And at that point, I felt like I had nothing. I felt like we had failed at this big thing, excited of our business, and then we had failed at it. And everyone basically saw my big failure, and an absolute failure. And at that point, I was trying to decide, should I go back to work? Should I get a corporate job? Should I go back to public relations? What should I do at this point? I just didn't know what the next step was. And then I realized one thing. This place where I am right now is not choose my future. Because the way I see myself, journey where I'm going to choose something empowering, something beautiful, something strengthening. No, I don't see myself that way. So I'm just going to choose a defeated option. Let's just do this for survival. Let's just do that because I won't get better. This didn't work, so why would that? That would be my mindset. So I had to make sure that I got my mindset and my beliefs in the right place. And what I did was I flooded myself with motivation. I literally watched every single motivation video I could find. I listened to podcasts. I bought books. I subscribed to this Audible book. It's kind of like you can listen to the books that you want to listen to. And I was listening to these books just to build up my motivation and my strength. And then eventually, and it took a while, a couple of months later, I felt I'm in a good place. I'm in a place where I'm ready to make moves and to make decisions. And out of that victorious space, I was able to make moves and decisions. And so beautiful. And so true to who I am. I've been able to do that if I didn't have the confidence and the mindset and the focus to do that. Right? You can't start a business. You can't do something big. You can't do something great. You can't do something grand if you feel defeated. You can be defeated, but not have a defeated mindset. So you pick yourself up and you keep going. But if you have a defeated mindset, even if you are running the kingdom, you won't feel like it because your mindset's not there. You'll be paranoid about someone coming to steal what you do have, someone taking away what you have. You'll be so worried. Mindsets are so important. Make sure any moves in my life and had it would have been absolutely different for me if I had decided when I was down in the dumps. I had to decide when I was in a positive, happy, strong, confident space. Okay? So make sure that you get yourself in the right space before you make decisions that impact your life. And very often, there's other lives that are connected to ours. Sometimes it's our children. Sometimes we don't have children and it's a spouse, or it's friendships, or it's other family members, or it's people who work for us. So many times our lives are connected to other people's lives. And because that is happening, we need to know that the decisions we make has to make sense. Now, let's take it further, and I'm going to dive in with the presentation. I want to go into our solutions for today. Let's go right back to our slides, and we're going to dive into those solutions right up. So here we go. Okay. So what's the problem with beliefs? Now, your belief, and someone might say, it's my belief. What's it going to do for anyone else? You know what? Your belief really shapes the way that you do life. It shapes your decisions. It shapes the way you see life, the way you see other people, the way you see opportunities. You know, some people, they look at even our country, for example, and they say, oh, there is nothing left here. There's nothing left to do, to enjoy. There's just nothing left. And someone else, I actually saw this, a 24-year-old, I call him boy, but I should say young man, a 24-year-old young man in the heart of the pandemic started a steel business, right? And that steel business is worth 7.5 million today, right? He started this in the heart of the pandemic. What happened was one of the biggest steel companies closed in the middle of the pandemic. And a whole lot of people didn't know where to get steel. People making gates and balustrades and burglar bars and whatever else. They didn't know where to get steel. So he said, you know what, he worked at a steel company before. He knows who you have to phone and what you have to do. So he started his own steel business, started supplying people. And today, he has a business worth 7.5 million. Can you believe it? A young man, 24 years old. There are options. And your mindset can either be a prison or it can be a palace. Your mindset can absolutely open up the world for you, or your mindset can make life so small that you can't even enjoy what life has to offer. So that is the big problem with mindset. Your mindset is not just for you. It's affecting your whole life, and it's affecting so many people. So make sure your mindset makes sense. And that is what the problem is. We know what the problem is, okay? It's shaping our lives. It's keeping our lives small. And even before I move on, sometimes we think, you know, I'm so tired of being frustrated. I'm so tired of being negative, me the way I want. I'm so tired of people not appreciating me. And this is our mindset around those things, because we're too worried that something bad will happen. We get too excited because something bad might happen. I don't want to get too excited because, you know, so we already prepare ourselves not to be too happy and not to enjoy things too much. And that's what happens with a lot of my clients. That simple shift in mindset actually helps them to live in the moment. The thing about the moment is amazing. The moment is beautiful. The moment has things to be on only the negative. Then what we want to move on to is, where do these beliefs come